Welcome to another episode of Technical Earth Syndicate, where we inspire, inform, and entertain you. I'm Michael Buffington.
And I'm Chris Stewart.
Are you Chris Stewart?
I am.
I hope you are. This is episode 26. Oh, man. So, sorry to our listeners. We actually haven't done a podcast in, a couple weeks now. It's been just kind of really busy for both of us. So,
Yeah.
What have you been up to, man?
Well, my wife and I have been burning through Doctor Who episodes let know tomorrow. We're almost caught up, actually. We're about to start on season 6.
Oh, yeah. You're further than I am, and I've been watching it for a while now, so.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to watch too many episodes, but yeah, we've been watching a couple episodes of that every once in a while when we have time, and then I actually bought a 3DS XL the other day, and it is fantastic. I bought a Fire Emblem with it and a Mario Sticker Star RPG, which is pretty good. I sent you a picture of a conversation in the game, and it was pretty funny.
Yeah, with the what was it, hipster glasses wearing thing.
Yeah, it is the hipster joke in a Mario game, which I actually did not see that coming. That's why I sent it to you. It was actually really funny. Yeah. I was like, "Are you serious, Nintendo?" Good job.
Yeah. Isn't he talking about what is it, that one Koopa mage who flies around in the broomstick all the time?
Yeah. You did a boss battle, and right after you beat it, that popped up, and I laughed. I was like, okay, I can't take a screenshot on the 3DS, but I'll just take a picture of my phone. But I actually uploaded that on my Twitter, so if you guys want to, follow me and check it out. No. Hint. No, other than that, like I've just been playing a few games and watching a couple TV shows, like Arrow. Arrow is a really good show.
Yeah.
I keep on harassing you about watching it. So
yeah, you do.
It's based off of the Green Arrow if you're a comic book geek. So, but yeah, nothing really much except just the normal, hanging out and playing video games and watching my daughter, that kind of stuff. So,
yep,
good stuff. But well, today's show, we actually got, a pretty good one. We got a discussion that we've been wanting to do for a very long time, actually. A few weeks, month, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Discussion about things we hate in video games. And surprisingly, we made a list, and there's actually quite a bit of stuff that we dislike in video games. Today in Alan's Tech Corner, we're going to be talking about the Mars rover and how it may have found some evidence that there could have been life on Mars at one point. Nothing like, alien life or anything, just, bacteria and stuff like that.
So no Decepticons.
Yeah, just Decepticons. And also, we got another little discussion on there, not a little discussion, more of an informal thing, is you can name your own exoplanet for $4.99. So we'll actually talk about a little bit about that. And Chris, what do you have planned?
Well, I just recently beat East Origin. It's spelled YS, kind of a weird pronunciation, but I just recently beat that, and so I'm going to be giving a short review on the game.
Cool. And of course, we got TES news, so stay tuned.
Commencing Operation Topic Attack.
Well, today on Topic Attack, we're going to be discussing the things we hate in video games. Chris, you actually brought this up as a discussion option, and I really liked it. So, why don't you go ahead?
Damn angry.
Oh, I'm angry. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, most of the time. I'm so sorry. It's a stage thing of anger. Anyway, why don't you go ahead and go into this?
So we both have 3 things that we picked out that personally they kind of piss us off in video games lately, and then we have a separate list that we both kind of agree on. Yeah. So for me, I've got lazy level design is one of the things that really bugs the hell out of me, and by that I mean, the Mario and Mega Man games are really bad about this. You'll have your ice levels and your fire levels and your desert levels. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is not so much the setting, which they do kind of get old after seeing them in every other game. But
Mm-hmm.
what bugs me is when like the ice levels make it hard to move around and you're sliding everywhere. Desert levels have the quicksand and you're sinking into the level and it's hard to move. Just that kind of stuff. It seems just kind of lazy. Like, hey, let's make the game arbitrarily harder.
Yeah, I can see that. I also hate how they just in some of those levels they'll recycle the same level over again and change a couple things up, and they
Yeah.
didn't really add anything to it.
Yeah.
And all those games are kind of, especially Mario is guilty of it. Even though it's a guilty pleasure, I do enjoy me ice levels in Mario. Honestly, those are actually one of my favorites, and the sea levels are one of my favorites. Even though it's like a guilty pleasure because it's like I'm a masochist, I guess, towards them because a lot of people hate them, including you, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
But,
I just think it's kind of overused sometimes, and
It is. It
yeah.
is. I think game developers need to freshen things up maybe, and some games have done it. So
Yeah. Another thing that's been getting on my nerves lately is a lot of single player games that require you to be online to play them. Now, SimCity's been getting a lot of flack because of this, but I haven't played it yet. You have.
Mhm. Yeah, I have played it,
and there is the multiplayer aspect in there.
and I have a problem with how they handled that. And I didn't really want to go with it into the show, but this kind of brings it up. Diablo did exactly the same thing. They kind of
Yeah.
offered us a single player experience, but then it's all online. Now, I don't have a lot of issues with online connections because that's normally what I do anyway with like Steam and stuff like that, and MMO type games. Now, the companies that are guilty of this are EA and Blizzard so far. With SimCity, they offered SimCity like you're going to be playing a normal SimCity, but yet it's a online game, and they should have really just named it SimCity Online. But
Yeah.
they gain more money, they named it SimCity. It's actually pulled. If you think about it, if people see the word online attached to them, a lot of people might hesitate from getting that because they think monthly subscription fees.
Right.
So yeah, I can kind of agree with you on that one, but I also don't really mind it. But I know it really, irritates the piss out of you when they do that kind of stuff.
I don't know, I was pretty mad about Diablo because most people who play Diablo, they do play, like a good portion of them play single player only, and that made a lot of people upset. But I think the worst offenders are Ubisoft, really, because you got your Assassin's Creed, your Splinter Cell. A lot of their games, they're mainly single player experiences. They have multiplayer on the side, but even to play the single player mode, you have to be connected to.
Oh, they've actually changed that up recently.
Yeah.
But I mean, Steam does it too. Honestly, it's just you have to have an online connection first before you can actually go offline half the time. So
Yeah.
it's a thing that's becoming spammed, and I understand like with Steam client and everything, but like SimCity, they shouldn't have lied. With that, it is an online game. I just don't think they should have lied about it. And with Diablo, there was no excuse for not offering an online mode. And I kind of felt the same about StarCraft with that as well.
Yeah.
SimCity, I felt pretty. I was like, "Oh, are you serious?" When I found out about that, and I was like, "It's just SimCity Online." That's all it really was.
Yeah.
Too bad they lied to everybody.
Yeah, they really should have been more clear with that kind of thing, though. Because people who buy SimCity are, fans of all the other games. All of them have been single player.
Mhm.
So they're expecting to be able to play offline. But, it is what it is.
Now, that's the annoying part of that game, and I won't go into it much, but I will still say it is an awesome game. I love it. It's a great game. When you can play it.
I just wish there was a demo that I could download, because I am interested in playing it, but there's no demo, and I'm not really willing to drop $60 on a game, or $50, however much it costs.
You can wait till it gets cheap too. I mean, I got it for fairly cheap, but it's just kind of like, I don't know. Try it out whenever they get their stuff together. Right now, they took off all marketing ads off of it, and Diablo got a lot of flack for it too. And its launch was rough for the first 2 days. SimCity's first launch with a online-only game with a company that's never done it before, Maxius or whatever.
Yeah.
They've never done it before, and it failed utterly. And it took a week for them to actually get stuff running correctly. I played it last night, and it was fine, but it's going off of MMO status right now. It even has a status page for online, so.
Yeah. Well, moving along, my number 3 thing that I cannot stand in video games lately, tacked on multiplayer in a single player centric game series. Now I'm talking about your Resident Evil, your Dead Space, like specifically Dead Space 2.
Mhm.
I've heard Dead Space 3 has decent co-op, and like God of War. Like all of these games have been established as mainly single player games.
Yeah.
People buy them for the single player. And Resident Evil has been kind of working towards the co-op thing. I mean, 5 was decent enough, but it shouldn't be built around multiplayer to me.
But yeah, they have to have that idea, and I hate to say it, sometimes like Resident Evil 5 seems like they didn't have, like, it was built off of a single player preference, but then they just decided, oh, we're gonna make sure we have a co-op buddy, which was fine, but it seems like some parts of the game were it really wasn't built for it, I guess.
Yeah.
For the most part it was, but it just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Dead Space 2, we can both talk about that.
Yeah, that was just completely awful.
and it's sad with these companies that tack on multiplayer because they think it's going to sell the game even more. Their game's going to sell regardless, but it didn't add any replay value or anything to it. It was just it was a wasted dev cycle in a sense of extra money they spent on a game. They could have. EA does this all the time, though.
And it wasn't even the main the main devs who made the multiplayer. They outsourced that to somebody else.
See, that I don't like that.
Yeah. Now, I do like what they did kind of with Dead Space 3. They have your single player campaign, and then you have your co-op, and supposedly they're like completely different games. And what the person who's playing your co-op character, like whatever his name is, I don't remember at the time, but like supposedly there's stuff that he sees that Isaac doesn't see,
right?
And so it's like a completely different game.
Yeah, I'm interested in checking that out whenever you get a copy of it. I mean, I have it on Origin, so Origin. No, I don't mind it too much. But that Dead Space 3 seems like it's built around completely, like they had it in mind from the beginning, and also they had single player in mind from the beginning as well. So it was the best of both worlds right there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and recently I talked about the multiplayer beta on God of War Ascension,
right.
And it worked well enough. But I just feel that not every game has to have multiplayer. Like plenty of people will like a single player game and don't want to play with their friends with it, and they just want to have their own, by themselves experience. And there's really nothing wrong with that.
It's
don't
like
have to have multiplayer in every single game.
God of War, all the games were single player games. All of a sudden, they just do this one as multiplayer. It seems like it's more of a, give me your money kind of deal. And that's what worried me about the storyline too. Maybe it was just not a well-developed game, but apparently it's okay. So I'm interested in checking out. I'm not really going to be diving into these multiplayers. And most of the games we listed that have tacked on multiplayer, stuff, even Resident Evil with Mercenaries, I didn't really play it that much, It was just kind of, it was, no.
Yeah, I think we played the versus mode on 5 probably twice before we never touched it again.
Yeah, and games that do horde modes and stuff like that, they really have to do it well, like Gears of War does it well,
Yeah.
Shoot, even Red Faction from THQ before they went under, the Red Faction Armageddon did horde mode really good on that one too. It was just, it all matters on the game, and unfortunately some game developers don't really think about that. And as you said, like outsourcing it can always be a big problem, because both that team that they're they let outsource to isn't really thinking about the actual game, so it kind of has issues. But here's something. We'll kind of go into mine. I don't know if you agree with this, Chris, but a checkpoint-driven video game with no saving bugs the hell out of me.
Yeah.
And that's a majority of console games now, and it really bugs me. And and it's infesting its way into a lot of PC video games too, such as first-person shooters that used to have a hard save, Half-Life. Oh, well, I'm at this corridor. I feel like saving and just quitting. Well, you could do that. And it also had checkpoints in it. I don't have a problem with checkpoints at all, because it also is an ultimatum if you accidentally didn't quick save, in some of those games. But what's a good example? Dead Space 3. That's a good example. Good God. They had a broken checkpoint system at the very beginning of the game. And it was seriously an hour before I got to a checkpoint, but then my system crashed because it was fairly new when the game came out, and they recently did patch it and fix some stuff. But at this one point, I got to a part and there was no checkpoint in between, but my system kept on crashing with that game. And it was always like 30 to 40 minutes into that level, and because there was no checkpoint, and there's supposed to be a checkpoint every 5 to 10 minutes, honestly, in that game.
Yeah.
And so I guess it was just a faulty, bug with that one. But I've seen games that you take 30 minutes to get to a checkpoint, and if you die in between that, then you have to start all the way over, And I don't like that. And I also don't like the fact that when you're going for a checkpoint game, such as, just one of those games, and you need to stop real quick. Say you need to take care of, go out of, an hour away from town or something, and you can't just save right there. You have to just turn off your system because you don't want to leave it running. If you do leave it running, that's on you. But, but I mean, it's really infuriating when a lot of the old type games, early 2000s, 90s, and everything, did it by hard save, or you could just hard save.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just me thinking that. I know some people don't have a problem with it, but I just have a big issue. And this is kind of like PS4's fixing it. You can resume your game anytime you want if you decide to turn off the console.
Yeah.
So maybe
I definitely see where you're coming from on this one. Like, it's not one of my top gripes, but I definitely can sympathize with you on that one. Like, I didn't used to have such a huge problem with it because I used to have plenty of time for gaming.
Yeah.
And nowadays we got families, jobs, all kinds of responsibilities. We can't just be sitting at the game, for hours and hours on end. So,
yeah.
Like the infrequent checkpoints and save points, especially where you have to save at a certain point. Like, that's why I don't play as many RPGs as I used to, because I don't have the time to just grind up to the save point.
Yeah. It's like you have to get through this hour-long storyline without saving. Yay!
Yeah.
I despise that with so much, and I hope some of you that are listening think the same way, and maybe we can convince developers otherwise to do that, because it just seems very lazy game dev work, just to throw checkpoints in whenever. You know?
And honestly, if the really infrequent checkpoints and save points like that, it makes the game less fun at sometimes, because when you're trying to stop and you have to go somewhere, you don't want to have to rush through the game and you'd be like, oh god, I gotta get to the next save point.
And we've had to do that multiple times.
Yeah.
My next thing, we can kind of relate on it, but not too much. Chris kind of likes doing some of this. He hasn't done it in a while, which is fine. Pointless DLC and DLC spam from game developers and video games in general. I'm talking fighting games are notorious for this crap. Skins, colors, and costumes, and charging an arm and a leg for it, $5.99, and also including it on a disc already before release, bugs the hell out of me a lot of the times, and I can't stand it. It just seems like they're just trying to con everybody into buying some of this crap,
Yeah, I do miss the days when stuff like that was just unlockable, and you had to beat the game 10 times to unlock costumes or something like that.
You want to get a different color Tekken character or something, you have to play this thing or whatever, like it annoys me. But it's not even just that. That's a small part of it. It's just the mass amount of DLC spam that goes out, and they're trying to act like it's microtransactions now.
Yeah.
And Dead Space is doing this. Call of Duty's doing this. We'll talk about that later on our news. But I mean, there's a way to do it correctly, and there's a way not to do it correctly. I know there's always people willing to buy stuff, and that's what they're hoping for. But when it gets to the point where they're not releasing some levels in a game that are already been developed in a video game before, and then they sell it to you the day of the release or a week after or something like that, is just it's bad. It's bad. It's like you should have included that in the game instead of just thinking you can get it easy. That's where the whole DLC thing for me. I didn't mind DLC at first, but then when you start looking at how their money system works, of how greedy they are of trying to charge. I mean, Call of Duty. I'll take this, even though I'm guilty of buying this crap. Is the map packs? They do season passes, $50. The game's $60, so you end up spending $110.
And that's
You
just
know?
if you bought the standard edition. If you bought the what's it called, like the hardened edition or whatever. Well,
$70
I guess
for
those usually come with the season passes though. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess
Well,
you're
the
saving a little bit if you.
The
do it
hardened
that way.
edition is usually like $80. You save like $20 or something like that, which is not bad, but it's still, they're charging you a lot for map packs. And I know with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, they actually did a good job with giving you what you paid for. As in for what they had that horde mode. What's it called? I forgot what it is. That 2-player horde mode in Modern Warfare 3?
Oh, the what was it called?
Ah.
Shoot, I don't even remember.
Anyway, but they gave us extra levels that they were working on and developing, which was really cool. But they still are guilty of releasing maps that, like Black Ops 2 Nuketown. It was a special pre-order and you can't get it unless you pre-order it or whatever. And it was just kind of, and now they're going to be selling, or they're going to be giving away Nuketown for free soon. But they're going to be selling Nuketown Zombies not for free, even though that was supposed to be free too. So it's just like
I can think of a real bad offender of this, Capcom. Surprise, surprise. What was it? Asura's Wrath. That game, apparently, you have to buy the real ending to the game for like $5-10.
That's bullcrap.
Yeah.
That's bullcrap. And another big offender is EA has been doing this a lot lately, and I talked about with Dead Space 3. Battlefield. They after the game came out, they decided to do this. Oh, let's just do a bunch of microtransaction DLC, unlock everything, and that's on the person that buys it, yeah. But it was just kind of like a middle finger to me, like, oh, so I earned all this stuff, and this person can just buy it all,
Yeah.
What happened to gaming, man?
Bottom line, though, we as gamers only have ourselves to blame. We've shown them
Yeah.
that we're willing to buy this crap, and until we stop buying this crap, they're just going to keep giving it to us.
Now, I put on a stand. I will not buy skins, colors, costumes for fighting games and stuff like that, or pointless DLC. I will buy extra endings only because they force you to, for the most part. Not extra endings, but extra levels and stuff like that. They force you to. If it's worth it, then I'll buy it. Like such Fallout releases expansion packs, technically, that are like what they charge $9 for it or something like
Yeah.
that back when Vegas was coming out. But it was like 4 to 7 hours of gameplay. It was awesome. I like stuff like that. I don't like, oh, play this for 30 minutes and you're done.
Yeah.
I don't like that. And I usually avoid that stuff. My next gripe on things I hate about video games is on first-person shooters. Now, this is just probably me, but on first-person shooters, I like that. Like, okay, say you're playing a stealth game such as Deus Ex, Human Revolution. Well, some game companies think it's awesome to do this. Is to put boss battles in it, arcade-ish boss battles. And if you know Deus Ex Human Revolution, it's not an arcade-ish game at all.
No.
But their boss battles are, and I found out a reason for that is because they outsource the boss battles to another company.
Outsourcing.
And it seems like a lot of games, first-person shooters, have been trying to do boss battles. I'm not talking about Call of Duty or Battlefield or anything like that. I'm talking about just like the normal first-person shooters that you're enjoying, and all of a sudden you have this boss battle. Crisis 3 is guilty of this. I got annoyed at the end because you all of a sudden had to fight this mega boss, and I was like, what the crap? I've been going through this whole game being a stealthy person and taking out people with headshots and everything, and all of a sudden I have a guy with a life gauge. I don't like it. I don't like that at all. And maybe that's just me nitpicking a little bit with that, but it was very annoying seeing that in my favorite stealth shooter, which is Deus Ex Human Revolution. So
Yeah, it really it kind of changes the feel of the whole game, really. Because if you're trying to go through stealthy, not killing everybody, and then you get this boss guy who you have to kill, basically, and there's no...
Well, like the first Deus Ex, they had boss characters, but they took a little more hits, but you could still get them with headshots and kill them real fast, you know, if you were good. They would always have extra perks that, you know, that would take a little bit longer, but there wasn't a boss gauge, you know, and there wasn't, the whole RPG thing where you have to hit something 3 times before it's dead, or, you know, the Nintendo tactics of hit the boss 3 times and it's dead. Yeah. That's what they were basically gunning for in some of those games, like, what's it called? Deus Ex Human Revolution and Crisis 3 and stuff like that. And that's what annoys the crap out of me. I don't like that, you know, especially when it's not built for that. If you're going to hit an enemy and take away some of his life, it should be real fast, you know, if it's built like that. But whatever. It's just poor game design. I think they run out of ideas because they think what gamers want is that. And I know a lot of people that have that problem of griping about that too. They're like, man, that boss battle was just unfair, you know?
Yeah.
It was very arcadish, you know. That's all I hear sometimes from certain people. So, but Chris, why don't you go ahead and start off with things we pretty much both agree with on video games.
Yeah. So, what's the worst part of the let's say the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer that you can think of?
Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. We've been playing that a lot lately. I'll have to go with shooting people. Was that it? Shooting people?
Yeah,
no,
guns are bad.
Yeah. The escort quest. Oh, that's what it is. Escorting things.
Not even just that. Like Resident Evil 4 was great, but the entire game is basically one long escort mission, and it's just a pain in the ass.
It's just one little part of it. Most of it's just like eliminate the enemies, but escort quests in games in general suck. They're bad. I mean, Grand Theft Auto. Oh God.
Yeah.
You remember old Grand Theft Auto 3? You know, I'm talking when they started really getting good was 3, Vice City, and San Andreas.
Yeah.
Escort quest galore on those. Oh man.
And what really makes it bad is not so much that you have to protect somebody, but most of the time the AI is just completely stupid and they'll just run into a wall, or they won't try to fight back or anything. I think like old school WoW, like back when I first started playing, it was really bad with escort quests. They've gotten better, I think, since the last time I played. They've gotten to where good. You know, characters will run. Oh, that was another thing that would make me mad, is they'll just kind of walk and you have to, you know, slow down intentionally to keep up with them. And
they're just walking legitly like, what's up, man? Taking my time.
Yeah.
Taking my time.
Not like we're completely under fire or anything. Just walk, you know, take your time.
Yeah, escort quests suck. And I don't actually know one person that enjoys them. And if you do enjoy them, contact us and let us know so I can be like, oh, hey, that guy enjoys them. Okay.
Communicate to us the merits of escort quests. Maybe we can be convinced.
Yeah, I've never been convinced over the years of gaming. I just can't stand them, man. And the next one kind of goes hand in hand with this is racing levels in non-racing games. Grand Theft Auto judging, it's about cars and stuff like that. So yeah, you know, racing missions are part of it, you know, in a sense, but they're still annoying. I find them annoying.
Yeah.
Some people like them, but I'm talking about games that didn't even have racing in it or any cars to begin with at all. And what's some games you can think of that kind of do that?
Basically, any kind of game, like the open world games are really bad about it. They'll have the little time trial missions. Hey, let's, you know, do a bunch of parkour on all these buildings and get there as fast as you can. It has nothing to do with the main game at all. It's just kind of annoying.
Racing in games that just don't require it, it's really annoying to me. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes if it's done right, I guess if it revolves around it, it's good. Like, but it's just like Grand Theft Auto. I'm fine with it in those games for the most part, but it's still relatively annoying if they don't. Like, you can only progress with this game if you beat this racing level.
Yeah.
Ugh. God. Can't stand it. Here, going to the next one.
I think this one is more of a gripe of yours than mine.
Yeah.
'cause-
Okay. I'll go into this.
Yeah.
I guess it should have been on my list. Extreme fan service games. Lollipop Chainsaw, Dead or Alive, and even Soul Calibur can do it. I don't mind Soul Calibur as much, but I can't stand. I know a lot of people are like, what are you talking about? Those games are great because they have hot chicks and stuff in them. That's the problem, god damn it.
Well, you don't like hot chicks?
No, I didn't say that. But it's just it takes away from games. It really does. It's like, do I want extremely hot chips? Hot chips. Wow. Hot. Do I want extremely hot chicks and my favorite game? Sure, why not? But when you're glorifying bouncing tits and stuff like that everywhere, and it's just a big fan service game for the little nerdy kids that. Oh, that's mean. I'm sorry. The people that. The people that are just drawn to that, they're like, oh, I'm only buying that because it has a hot chick on it. No, man. You're egging them on.
I can see where you're coming from on this one. Like Lollipop Chainsaw, definitely garbage.
I haven't played it before, but it just doesn't interest me on the whole thing. And I'm not gonna, I don't want to go into why you shouldn't play it, but it's just it kind of annoys me that it's only fan service to appeal to the people that want to buy it because it has a hot chick in it.
Yeah. And on the other side of the coin, though, Bayonetta, it's definitely a fan service type game. I mean, half of your attacks are made of your little hair suit thing, and the stronger your attack is, you got more skin showing, and it's that kind of thing. But the gameplay is actually pretty fun, and I guess there's some sort of story involved as well. But
I hope so. I don't know. That's another game that kind of drew me away. I never played it before. People were saying I have to play it, but I don't know. Some of the fan service games I just don't really like, and I used to really like those type of things. Maybe because I wasn't, happily married, and I was a big nerd.
Yeah, I used to like Dead or Alive a lot. Like I think the second one came out when I was like probably 14, 15 years old. So, obviously that's why I like it. But
I like fighting games for being a challenge or a competition and stuff.
Yeah,
like I don't like
back
it
then.
for...
It was because of the fighting system was really fun back then. Lately, it hasn't really changed all that much at all, and it's definitely shifted the focus more towards, hey, tits bouncing all over the place.
Well, they have their new boob physics engine, for extra bounces.
Yeah, so your crazy boobs bouncing in different directions, it looks completely unnatural. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
If you have to have a volleyball beach spin-off series, then probably need to rethink stuff.
Reevaluate your life, because you were the scourge of gaming. I don't care if you people are like, man, Mike sounds like he's a jerk. It just makes me mad. Stop buying those games. I want good games that have good storylines that aren't fan service. I can go on rants about anime and some movies that do that crap too. So, but here's one we both pretty much agree with: hand holding in video games, Chris.
Yep. Giant ass arrows pointing where to go.
I know the show sounds like we're a gigantic bitch fit, happening. But it needs to be discussed. Hand holding in video games where they're like, here, do this, nonstop through the game, even past the tutorial level. I don't mind tutorial levels,
Yeah.
But like Call of Duty, there's a grenade on the ground, you're gonna blow up. Yeah, I know. I heard the ka-chink and stuff like that. I already know, and it constantly tells you and tries to tell you not to do stuff. I don't want to be told what to do in a video game that I've already spent a couple hours already in,
Yeah.
I know Alan had a big problem of hand holding in video games. We had a big discussion about it last year, so it was actually pretty funny. It was just like, I hate hand holding in video games. We just play the game, learn how to play the game.
Yeah.
I understand it for like little kid games and stuff like that, but past the tutorial levels, you should honestly get the game's concept.
Yeah.
But I mean, what are some hand-holding gripes that you have for video
Let's
games?
see. We mentioned the Call of Duty. We got the grenades and giant arrows pointing where you need to go.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 13 was another really bad one because there's really only one way to go. I don't need the giant star on my mini map telling me where I need to go. Just
Yeah,
go
yeah,
straight.
Actually, with Nino Kuni game, you can actually turn off all the markers on your map.
Oh yeah.
Did you know that? Pretty cool. It's like if you don't want hand holding attached to it, you don't have to.
Yeah.
I guess offering it is nice, but also letting you take it off is awesome too. So
Yeah. Let's see, what's another one that I could think of? I don't know. It's pretty bad mostly in like the shooters telling you, hey, you need to go this way.
It is, and also action adventure games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Racing games, they don't like you driving the wrong way, apparently.
Oh yeah.
I'm just kidding. No, that's I guess that's needed. No, but I mean, just there's certain hand holding stuff that happens in games that goes over the tutorial in most video games, and it's really annoying. I wish they would fix that. I know they're trying to. I mean, it's mostly with the older, mature games that they're doing with too.
Yeah.
I don't mind the kid games. The more kids would be playing, but the older games that are mature and up, those people don't need to be told how to play the game. Honestly.
Yeah.
The last one we got. Go ahead, Chris.
Oh man, this one I think is my biggest gripe of all with video games, and it's you jerks. No, the multiplayer communities and games like Call of Duty, League of Legends, WoW. Why are we so mean to people? Why can't we just be nice, you guys?
Yeah, I've been saying this. Even the internet has this issue too.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of these people that play these games too. It's like they just badmouth you on there, no matter what. League of Legends and Dota 2.
Really noob hostile, those games.
Yeah, it's like if you're new to play and you have no idea how to play it, no one tries to help you out. No one, they're constantly calling you a noob or get off our game, you suck, blah blah blah. And in Call of Duty, you have people calling each other, horrible words. I'm not going to go into that because this is pretty much a PG rated show. So,
weren't we just talking about bouncing tits not 5 minutes ago?
Hey, that's okay. Johnny has to learn how tits work somehow. I'm sorry. No, I mean, it's just Call of Duty and some of those first-person shooter games, you just see constant, like, people accusing people of hacking even though they're not, or just trash talk nonstop. I understand it's competitive games, but be nice about it. And, and most of you are like, I don't have to be nice on my video games. But it's like, even in WoW, where people, steal your mobs and, tell you to F off or whatever, it's just, it takes me off on that part of it. Like, multiplayer communities itself is just pretty bad.
Yeah. It's just really the whole, I'm on the internet, I'm anonymous, you can't do anything about it, so I'm just going to say whatever the hell I want. So,
yeah. And that's wrong. That's not good, and it really ticks me off, and it ticks off a lot of people I know that just want to play a video game and don't have to worry about getting harassed or anything because of your skill. Yeah, I suck at fighting games. Yeah, I suck at first-person shooter games, but yeah, I don't want to be ridiculed nonstop because I threw a grenade and, died instantly or whatever. It just... It ticks me off when people start just trash talking for no reason, and it actually draws me away from multiplayer games most of the time.
Yeah, like pretty much anytime we played anything on Xbox, it was multiplayer. We would hang out in the party chat by ourselves and not even mess with the other people in the.
Here's a good one. Chat. Left 4 Dead 2 online. It has a pretty good online, but the community on there makes it unplayable sometimes. People don't help you out. They tell you you're a piece of crap and you deserve to die and all this other stuff, and it's just really negative people. And I know this whole discussion has been kind of our negativity towards a lot of the gaming industry and everything like that, but this has to be the biggest part of what we need to fix as gamers, and even game developers need to start looking at this too and monitoring, racist comments to people on Call of Duty, which I think Triarch has already been doing that recently.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, just really bad stuff, harassment and threats and stuff like that. I don't want to, I'm not going all hippie here and everything, but it does need to be fixed.
And you clowns with your weed references in your names, you're not funny. You're not original. Stop it.
But they can name themselves anything they want. But it's just annoying, and I wish the communities would be better. Even Steam's community is getting bad. I go on the forums and you're like, oh man, I can't wait for this game. Let me discuss it a little bit. And you got some clown on there going, you can't like that because you're a horrible person, blah, blah, blah. Just.
Oh man, that reminds me of recently right after the Walking Dead game got nominated or after it won the Game of the Year award.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was reading the forums after I had finally beaten it, and there's this one guy who was just determined to convince the world that they were wrong for liking this game. Because he feels that we were all like duped and robbed out of our money for this game, because there's kind of like the illusion of choice, but everything kind of goes in the same direction, but there's minor differences, so there's not really any choice. Yeah,
it's an adventure game, and that's the kind of communities, and even I've seen some negativity in the Miiverse community. Not much. It's actually pretty good there, but maybe it's because no one owns the Wii U. But I mean, there's some good communities, but there's always those people that just make it unenjoyable sometimes.
Yep.
And a lot of people say you got to look past that, but there's so much negativity in these communities that it overbalances. It goes way over, and it gets me to the point where I just don't want to pay attention to it anymore. I don't want to play that multiplayer game anymore because of it,
Yeah.
But oh well, be happy, people. Just be happy. I'll be happy. I won't gripe about games anymore. I think we just need to get this out.
Alan's Tech Corner.
Well, good news for the Mars rover on Mars, of course. Curiosity that it actually may have found some elements of possible life that may have been on Mars. A lot of the main ingredients for life, anyway. They found traces of sulfur, nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and simple carbon in it. Curiosity dug into the ground and pulled out minerals, and they found like a lot of that stuff, which is really cool. They said we have found a habitable environment that is so benign and supportive of life that probably if this water was around you and had been on a planet, you would have been able to drink it. And now, the scientists have always said that there has been rivers and oceans on Mars, and there is evidence because a lot of their stuff is like frozen up there. It's like frozen lakes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there once was water on Mars, and there still is water into the ground and everything. So I'm wondering, I saw something on it recently that there's a possibility that there was underground ocean, on some planets. They've talked about that on, what was it, Saturn's moon, one of Saturn's moon, I think.
Yeah.
Or Jupiter's moon, sorry, that had an underwater ocean or underground ocean, so underneath the planet's surface, which is majority of the moon was ice. I forgot what planet that was, but with Curiosity actually finding this out is pretty nice to know, because they've never actually really got a good readout of what Mars's soil's like and what the ground is, and what it's kind of like Earth like. That's what they're basically saying. It's kind of like Earth like, but they're still missing some of the key ingredients to determine whether there were a lot of bacteria and stuff like that maybe living on Mars. There's no indication there was ever like alien life or anything like that, because that would be big news if it was.
Yeah.
So, so that's some cool news. And as time progresses, Curiosity is actually gonna be digging more holes and finding out more information for planet Mars, and we're supposed to be landing on with Mars One, and a few other private companies are supposed to be, going towards Mars very soon in the next 10 years. So maybe this will help with that. I mean, if there's water in the ground or something that we can actually utilize, and also those ingredients, maybe it might be, we've talked about this before, that maybe it's going to be a lot easier to like terraform and stuff like that, with the little environment bubbles and stuff like that. But cool news of that. And then the next little piece of tech news that we have, which is really nice, was it the site Uwingu?
Uwingu? I don't know.
Uwingu? I'm sorry for butchering your site's name. You can actually name a planet. Well, attempt to name a planet. Here's on their site and I'll give you the site name. It's you can go to www.uwingu, that's uwing.com, and you can go to their little link of naming planets and everything like that. You can name it for $4.99 for basically they might not take your name, but you may be selected if they really like your name for naming some of these what are they called? Exoplanets that are around that haven't been named before. There's millions of planets out there that haven't been named, and since we're the only intelligent life that we know of right now, why not?
Yeah, there's over 700 exoplanets that are known to us right now, and those exoplanets are basically just planets that are outside of our solar system.
Right.
And then there's at least a couple thousand other possible planets. They're not quite planets yet, but they might become planets one day. And if you've got $5 and you ever wanted to name a planet, go for it.
Yeah. And names can be up to 50 characters, Latin letters only, though. So there you go. But you can check out their site and do it. I actually was thinking about doing it, but I don't really have any good names for planets, honestly. But we could name it Technical Earth Syndicate.
That's a horrible name. Nothing should be named that.
But that's some cool news if you guys want to actually name a planet.
Yeah, and a lot of people are probably thinking, "Oh, why would you pay $5 to possibly name a planet?" Well, the thing is, the money goes towards funding, all kinds of science stuff, space exploration and, space exploration, space travel, all kinds of cool stuff.
Right.
So.
And it's also nice to know that you can have a planet named official planet that's documented, not like that whole thing where name your star, or some people are cashing in on naming stars and stuff like that, but you're technically not really, naming your star. You didn't really find it. Someone else found it and they named it Gamma Quadrant, whatever,
Yeah.
So This is pretty decent. If you want to look into it, go for it. I may look into it if I actually decide I have a good enough name. It's mostly a gamble, but if they like your name, they'll use it. So it's kind of like you're donating plus giving them a cool name. So,
yep.
Down for another TS review.
All right. So, East Origin. I bought this game.
Wise.
No,
I don't know what it is, honestly.
No, it's actually East. They there's not any like voice acting in the game except for in the opening. There's, for some reason, it's in French. I'm not sure why, but it tells like the whole story about the little universe, and they pronounce it East.
Okay,
so that's the official pronunciation. But
I used to play the one back in the day on Super Nintendo.
Yeah, they actually remade that one. It's the one that's on Steam right now. Oath and Felghana. That's like a remake of that one that was on Super Nintendo back in the day.
Well, the one on Super Nintendo was horrible. I didn't like it.
Anyway, I bought this game along with Oaths of Felghana during the recent holiday sale that they had on Steam, and finally just recently started playing it a couple weeks ago, and so far I've enjoyed pretty much every minute of it, and I'm kind of mad at myself for not getting into the series sooner.
Did you beat it and everything, right?
Yes,
So-
I've beaten one character of their story, so I'll get into that in a minute. But
Okay.
the basic overview of the story is, two search parties that are formed by the Holy Knights and a group of elite mages. They go out to find the two goddesses of ease. Their names are Fina and Rhea, and those two have taken it upon themselves to leave the floating shrine that they live in, and they're going to go and stop this group of demons who are growing in power. So kind of a generic, RPG kind of story, but it works.
Right.
You play as one of three characters. You have Unica Tova, who is an axe-wielding Holy Knight apprentice. Hugo Fact is the youngest son of a famous sorcerer family, and he's like a magic prodigy. And there's a hidden third character who you unlock after you beat the game once.
Huh.
Yeah. So it is a JRPG, but instead of the traditional turn-based combat like you'd normally find in the genre, it's like a very fast-paced and action-based kind of thing. So there's no arbitrary missing. You'll just suddenly miss somebody, even though you see your character hitting them, you'll just miss. None of that. Every hit counts unless unless it's physically dodged by either you or the enemy.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
Huh.
something that I
Okay.
really like about that. So you've got your one attack button, you got a jump button, and your magic button, and then up over the game you'll get up 3 spells that you'll kind of cycle through. Some things work better against other enemies.
Mhm.
And you've also got a boost mode button, and that just increases your attack power and your defense. And it's got a little meter next to your health bar that fills up over time. And there's very little item management in the game. Like, there's almost none, and it's kind of nice. Once in a while, you're going to find new armor and boots to replace your old set, but it's like your healing items and your stat buffs, your increased strength and XP gain. Those are dropped by enemies that you kill, and they're instantly applied to you when you pick them up. So your buffs, they appear over your health bar, and they've got their own little bar that drains like your boost meter. And, like I said, they're just instantly applied as soon as you pick up the item. And there's other items that you pick up that are like little key items that you kind of have to equip to do stuff, like revealing invisible doors, or there's one that you have to equip to keep undead monsters from coming back to life after you kill them. But there's only a few of those, and you'll only have to use them in certain areas. And in most cases, you'll only use them like once or twice in the game. So don't really got to worry about them too much. But you only get one weapon in the game, but you'll find the items called Claria Ore, and you'll have to bring those to a certain character, and they'll upgrade your weapon to the next level.
Oh, that's kind of cool. It kind of takes out the whole I have to farm for all these different types of weapons, and then you have to do item management with weapons, and you don't want to get rid of that one because it was pretty. And
Yeah, it's a very streamlined game, so it'll probably appeal to somebody who wants to play an RPG, but they don't want to deal with all the inventory and stat management you might get from a Final Fantasy or an Elder Scrolls.
Right.
So,
Okay.
but
That sounds like a really good game.
yeah, it is. The story's kind of generic and predictable, but the game's never boring, and that's what's important. So I've only had to grind twice in the game for probably about 15 minutes each just to beat some of the harder bosses.
That's not bad.
Yeah, but otherwise, you can just play through normally and beat the game pretty easily. And like I said, it's relatively short for an RPG. Each character story can be beaten in roughly 8 to 10 hours, and depending on how long you get stuck on the bosses.
I guess we need to kind of do a reviewing system of giving what technical globes. We'll call them. How many technical globes would you give this game? Out of 10.
Out of 10, that's a pretty big number.
No, out of 10. Like just 1 to 10 technical globes. What would you give this game?
I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10.
An 8.
It's a really fun game, and it doesn't ever really get boring. Combat's awesome all the time. The music's great, except for the one fire level. The music gets kind of annoying there, but overall, it's a really good game. I definitely recommend it. Yeah,
Cool.
it costs $20 on Steam, but on the holiday sale, I picked it up for about $4. And so, if $20 is a little bit too much for you, just wait for the next sale. They're pretty much all over the place, and every once in a while, they'll even show up on the weekend deals. So,
Do you think it's worth $20 though?
I would say maybe 15.
15?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would probably wait on it because like I said, it is a short game for an RPG. So,
Okay.
but there is a demo on Steam, so if you're interested, go ahead and try it out.
Today on TES News, we have a lot of cool information about gaming. Oh wow, look at that, gaming.
Yep.
We don't obsess about this at all. Apparently, Payday, the game that came out last year, did it come out last year or the year before?
I want to say
think
it
it came
was late 2011.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Because it's getting a sequel.
Yay!
It came out for PlayStation 3 and PC originally. Actually, PS3 first and then PC later for the first one. But the second one is going to be hitting PC, PS3, and Xbox 360 this summer. No wind of them actually doing a Wii U version. Oh well.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a pretty cool game, and on Xbox, it's the first one in the franchise. So
Yeah, there's a bit of a teaser trailer out right now. It's kind of amusing. There's a little Dark Knight reference in there, like from the beginning of the movie where he's standing on the corner with the mask in his hand.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah. GOG has a Pick 5 promo going on right now. You can pick 5 games and save a butt ton of money. And there's a lot of pretty good games in there too. They got both of the Alan Wake games. You got the regular Alan Wake and then American Nightmare that came out. You got Chronicles of Riddick, awesome game. The Witcher, and most of them are going for between $3 and $5. So,
Now remember people that are just Steam junkies only, like myself, and since I own all those games on Steam anyway, GOG is its own separate thing, kind of like Origin. So if you do buy Alan Wake or Riddick or The Witcher, it's stuck on GOG. But GOG is always also no DRM on there. So
yeah, Gears of War Judgment, they just revealed an Epic Reaper enemy character that's going to be controlled for multiplayer. I'm guessing for the horde mode kind of things, but they're going to be controlled by an actual player, and they're going to be handpicked by the Gears community each week. And so if you defeat this character, you're going to earn a weapon skin and a Reaper medal. So
that's pretty
cool stuff there. And some Epic employees are going to be controlling it sometimes as well. And, you'll still get the skin and the medal for beating them. It looks pretty cool when it flies around. It's kind of crazy looking.
I still want to check out that game if my Xbox would work. So hopefully it would. Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Why are we talking about that again? Oh, it has microtransactions.
Yep.
Well, for Xbox anyway right now. I think it's going to be a trial and error thing, and we've talked about this earlier in the show. Basically what they're going to be offering is like skins for guns, extra slots for custom loadouts, and stuff like that. But I don't think it's like pay to win stuff right now.
Yeah, it's mostly just cosmetic stuff. Like you can get a skin for your gun that's just bacon.
Cool thing. Yeah, I want a bacon gun. That's actually pretty cool. I think I would actually. Oh man, I'm a hypocrite. No. Hopefully they offer some of those things if you purchase the season pass for free, kind of like what Call of Duty Elite did for Modern Warfare 3. I'm hoping they do that. So if you buy the season pass, maybe they'll let you have some of that for free. Maybe that'd be cool.
I don't see it happening.
Yeah, probably not. Activision.
But these micro items packs are going to be 160 Microsoft points, and for other consoles, they're going to come out later on, except for probably the Wii U.
Yeah.
So Mass Effect 3 has the awesome Citadel DLC that got some pretty good reviews.
Yeah.
That you can get the soundtrack for free, but you have to own the game and you have to be an Origin user.
So I can get the soundtrack for free right now.
You can, and you don't have to have bought the Citadel DLC. So as long as you own Mass Effect 3 on Origin, you can download that soundtrack. Halfbrick Studios, better known as the creators of Fruit Ninja, Jetpack Joyride, awesome games there. They've got 8 new games planned for 2013. and I'm pretty excited. They're one of my favorite mobile game developers. So
I bet they're going to be loaded with microtransactions.
probably, but they'll still be free, and they won't force them down your throat.
Yeah. Well, Fruit Ninja's not free.
But it is now.
Oh, it is?
I'm pretty sure it's free now.
I got it free a little bit ago, but
Yeah.
I thought it went back up. Oh,
I don't know.
Okay. Defiance. Anybody know about Defiance? I know Chris didn't really know about it. Final beta starting March 19th for PS3 and March 22nd for PC and March 25th for Xbox 360. Those that don't know about Defiance, it's the video game that's going to be connecting with a TV series on Sci-Fi Network, the TV channel. It's basically a sci-fi show. I mean, on Sci-Fi Network, it looks pretty promising. The game, however, I'm not too sure, but if I can play the beta, that'd be fantastic. But it's something to look into, especially since actions in the video game will be reflected onto the show. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, really ambitious stuff there. I'm wondering if it'll, actually work out the way they want it to.
It will either work or fail miserably. So
I don't know. It is sci-fi, so kind of expect plenty of CG that looks like it was made in 2001.
Maybe.
So good news for Dishonored fans. They got the second DLC, The Knife of Dunwall, is coming out April 16th. It's going to be $9.99 for PC and PS3, and 800 Microsoft Fun Bucks for the 360.
Fun Bucks. That's what they should just rename it.
Yeah. But it's like a alternate telling of the story, I guess, or like an alternate point of view. You're going to be playing as the Whalers leader, Dodd.
That's amazing.
So that should be interesting.
Oh man, I'm gonna buy that probably the second it comes out. Maybe, I don't know. I would have to reload Dishonored because I already installed it. Damn it!
I still need to beat that game.
Oh yeah, you do. It's so good. Oh man. Dan Geisler, programmer and co-designer of Road Rash, said he's making. He may revive this series with a Kickstarter. Dun dun dun. Every old school developer seems like they're doing that, and they're doing it, and it's working. So keep an eye out or an ear out for that game. Maybe a Road Rash, a new game for consoles or PC or whatever. So
if there was ever a moment that I would go shut up and take my money, it'd be for this game.
Definitely, Road Rash was a great game back in the day.
Yeah.
Here's some cool stuff for Nintendo Club people and everyone that owns a Nintendo console. You should be a Nintendo Club member. You earn coins for purchasing games, and you get to do surveys, and you'll earn coins, and you'll be able to use these coins to buy little promotions such as physical items or digital items that you can download on your 3DS or Wii, and I'm sure later on the Wii U. They updated their catalog for their 4 games that they charge 150 coins per. Right now they have 3D Classics Kid Icarus 3DS. They have Starship Defense for 3DS, Super Punch-Out for the Wii, and Mario Tennis for the Wii. So those are all 150 coins right now. So if you can use your Nintendo Club points for those, and you can get free download codes for each one of those.
Oh, I should look into seeing if I have enough points for that, because I wanted to play Punch-Out on the Wii for a long time, but I didn't have a Wii when it came out. And
now you have to activate it on the Wii eShop, not the Wii U eShop. So,
right.
Yep.
So we have our PlayStation Plus update, like always. Last week they brought out Spec Ops: The Line, which I'm not sure if it was any
it's
good
a good game.
or not. Is it?
It's good. Yeah, I like it.
Oh.
I have it on PC.
Oh,
so.
Well, it's free. It came out last week for free. And this week they have Joe Danger 2. So that's fun stuff.
Download Spec Ops, man. It's good.
Yeah, I did download it, and kind of, I don't know.
It's like a Gears of War type game. So
yeah, I heard it was kind of iffy on the story, but
well, see that the story is good, but the multiplayer sucks.
Yeah,
it's just tacked on multiplayer. Hey, we talked about that earlier.
Yeah. Joe Danger 2, though. See, this is kind of what I feel like we kind of get the shaft a lot in the States with the PS Plus things, because if you look at the European store, they get awesome games for free all the time.
Mhm.
So making me upset.
Roar.
Yeah. Scott Pilgrim Ultimate Edition is coming out. Yeah, it's a pretty old game, but now there's that. And that's gonna.
How much is that?
That is gonna be $11.99 for PlayStation Plus subscribers, and that's gonna include the online multiplayer, which they just recently added. Which I don't know why that wasn't in there to begin
That's
with.
$4.99 by itself, though, I think. And for you guys, for PlayStation Plus, it's like $2.99 or something like that. But yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Ultimate
Multiplayer
Edition
on a game,
has
that should
the
be it.
online multiplayer, and then you have the Wallace and Knives characters. And then you can also, if you already have the game, which you should if you have PlayStation Plus because it went free a while back, but you can buy the Wallace and multiplayer add-on separately for $3.99. And Ubisoft has a big sale going on for half off of certain games. Most of it is crap, but there's a few good games. You got the Prince of Persia trilogy, the Splinter Cell trilogy, Rayman Origins, and a few other things. But half off for Plus subscribers. So cool stuff.
Not bad, not bad. I always enjoy your PS Plus updates. They always make me jealous. Well, what are you going to be doing for the weekend, man?
Well, probably going to be playing another East Origins character. I'm working through my second one right now, and probably going to be doing a lot of studying too, because I've got my big promotion test coming up in a couple of months, so I need to start hitting the
There you
books.
Yeah, no more video games for you.
Well, I'm plenty of video games, but it's probably not as much.
Yeah, I don't know really what I'm gonna do. I think we might be going out this weekend, kind of enjoying ourselves. Thinking about going out to eat to like Joe's Crab Shack or something. I'll probably do some gaming like always. I got that 3DS, man, and I've been playing the crap out of it. I love it. I love it to death. I haven't even touched my PC because of it.
I'm so jealous that you have a Joe's Crab Shack. And I'm not even a big seafood fan, but they have the Joe's Crab Shack ads here in South Dakota. No Joe's Crab Shack though, so I get to see all the commercials with lobster pot pie and stuff, and that looks amazing.
I think I'm gonna take some pictures and send them to you while I'm eating it.
Mail me a lobster pot pie. Do it.
Okay. It might go bad. I mean, you might get food poisoning or something.
I don't care.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna probably be playing more Fire Emblem Awakening. That game is good.
Yeah,
it's so good. I'm not a big tactics person either.
I played the demo and it looked pretty good from when I played that.
The graphics aren't like amazing because there's better graphical games on the 3DS, like such as Resident Evil or even Luigi's Mansion coming out and stuff like that, or even the Paper Mario game's pretty good. But they really went for storyline on this game. It is fantastic. It's long. From what I hear, one of my buddies spent 50 hours on it already, and there's still more to do. And that's good for a tactics game. It really is.
Yeah. Something that I thought was kind of cool about it, like the Fire Emblem series is pretty notorious for if you lose a character in battle, it's gone forever for the rest of the game. This one has like an easy mode where you won't lose that character if they die. So if you just want to have the story, you can have that. So
yeah,
cool.
I noticed that. I did pick easy mode because I am a newcomer to Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
So I picked that mode, and I noticed they're like, it bluntly told you, like, your characters, if they die, will be gone. I'm like, well, damn, I don't really want that. I like my characters.
Yeah.
And so I picked the normal mode, and if your main character that you make with the custom creator dies in battle, it's game over. That's it. So it's a really fun game. I really haven't found it incredibly hard except for the challenges that you can do, like the extra leveling up challenges. Some of those are really hard. And it does have, I forgot to say this on our little TS news, but I think in the month of April, they're going to be offering a lot of free DLC through the Spot Pass feature of it.
Yeah.
So, and then there's also the regular DLC where you can download extra missions and characters like Roy's story or something like that, or something like that. I don't know. But it's really cool. I actually just missed out on the free DLC they actually offered earlier this month. I'm a little mad. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'll be doing. Maybe we can. Oh man, we need to record more Resident Evil 5 footage, but
Yeah, we
know
do.
when we're gonna
we
have
got like
time.
a week and a half before 6 comes out.
Oh, yeah. Now I can't promise Resident Evil 6 footage right off the bat. I kind of just want to enjoy that game, and then we'll go back and record. Maybe we'll record a few levels for you. But
Yeah.
well, that's it for our show. You can follow me on Twitter. Mine's at mbufftes.
And as always, I'm at CStuTES.
And you can like us on Facebook, subscribe to our, our iTunes, and also subscribe to our YouTube. We actually post a lot of cool stuff. Join our Steam group if you are a PC gamer. I mean, seriously. We would love to build a community on there with you guys. So,
Yep.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed today's podcast, and if you have any rants, comments, or questions, please email me at techearthsyndicate@gmail.com. And again, that is techearthsyndicate@gmail.com. Until next time, this is Technical Earth Syndicate signing off.